Gediminas Tower. So many stairs. At Gediminas Tower, finally.
Yeah, the heart of Vilnius.
Yeah, heart of Vilnius. The view is beautiful. Now what? The story behind this is the Grand Duke of Lithuania slept here.
Yes, Gediminas fell asleep and had a vision that there was an iron wolf roaring from the top of this hill, and he was unnerved by this vision, wanted it interpreted, so he consulted the druids, who told him that he should found a city here and that it too would roar like a iron wolf.
Yes, and climbing up this, I mean, I was really tired. Oh, look at the cable car. I need to go on one of those.
Yeah, we do get a wonderful view of the surrounding area from up here.
Yeah.
So it's definitely the right location.
Right, so in true fashion, we got snacks. But also, I'm going to spice it up a bit. How has Vilnius changed for you since coming back?
Okay, so this is my 4th time in Vilnius, I think. And each time it has changed dramatically on the last. So the city is clearly growing. And I don't necessarily mean just in population, but also economically. Like, it's definitely happening. The tech continues to upgrade.
Yeah.
Getting around town is becoming easier and easier. The app we used for traveling.
So good, right? It tracks the buses. It tells you how to go. Like, there's times, and you buy the ticket straight on. You don't even have to talk to the driver.
Yeah, you buy the ticket. It only activates when you get on, and you know for a period of time. You know how long it is. It plans journeys for you. It's so good. But that's just one of many examples. Like, the whole city is highly modernized. It's not at all kind of Eastern Europe in the way that people talk about it anymore. It's a first-rate, gorgeous place to be. And the aesthetic continues to improve. They're upgrading the infrastructure. The old town looks gorgeous. The new town is, got a lot of cranes and construction. So yeah.
Has the people changed for you?
Well, there seems to be more younger people around. When I first arrived in Lithuania way back on my first trip, most young people were looking to get out. They were like, "Oh yeah, I'm going over west." Lithuania had only recently joined the EU, the Shenzhen, and they saw a lot of economic opportunities moving to France or the UK or Spain. And now a lot of young people are saying, and people we've spoken to are saying, hey, we want to stay here. We want to go to Vilnius University, which is a gorgeous campus, and we want to develop, invest locally and develop economic opportunities locally. And I can see why. It's very promising. The average incomes have increased dramatically, wealth is increasing dramatically.
Housing is still affordable.
Yeah, despite the increasing prices. So I'll have to do another video on that at some point, where I thought that there might be a bit of a bubble because housing has exploded in price, but coming back and seeing the actual underlying statistics, no, I just think housing is catching up.
Okay, cool.
Oh, snacks.
Alright, so what we've got here, we've got...
We'll start with the cheese.
Cheese.
We always start with cheese. And
you don't need your full cutlery.
Oh,
that we chose.
We don't even have it this time. So.
No, we got it cut up instead. Well, it's fine. Upgrade.
Okay, so this is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Zugas. Apparently it's a kind of famous local brand.
It is.
One of the viewers, guitarist, introduced us.
Yeah, and they had a photo of the president there too. Wasn't there a photo?
Oh, yeah. So the store we went to, this was in Canada, so we've had this for a couple of days. And there was a former president, Charlie, I can't remember the last name, but you'll know who she is.
Yeah.
And she was meeting with the president. No, it was with Angela Merkel. It was the German chancellor.
Yes, it was the German chancellor.
And got a massive basket full of this cheese. So
yes, we had to try it, right? All right. Did you guess?
Okay, it has a strong smell.
It's got cheesy.
Okay. Alright, here we go.
Look, it said to eat within 3 days, but we'll eat it within 3 minutes. Okay, cheers to cheese. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely gonna last 3 minutes. What's mine now? Look this way, 1924.
Definitely pick it up. It wasn't that expensive either.
No. Benefits of hard cheese: calcium, protein, suitable for vegetarians. Yum. I rate that. That was like some Twiggy sticks.
So what was something that was surprising about Lithuania for you?
Or just Europe in general? Or actually, okay, let's go into Lithuania, right? It's such a beautiful city. And like you say, like, it's so underrated. But there's not many tourists here. Like, it has so many beautiful buildings, the history, parks, nature, like everything you ever asked for Europe. And yet, it's not like Touristville in some ways. Like, you hear the locals, you see families everywhere, like, you're not overwhelmed, right? Like, there's still a charm to Lithuania, whereas, like, we actually briefly stopped over to Vienna, and that felt just soulless. It's beautiful, like, don't get me wrong, but like,
to our Austrian friends and everything.
But it's just
overrun.
I think there's just so many tourists that you just feel like, what is Austrian, right? Whereas here, I'm in Vilnius, capital, and I feel like, oh yeah, I can recognize what is Lithuanian.
Absolutely.
Different to Estonian and Latvian, so yeah.
To put that in perspective, it's a beautiful, beautiful day today. Perfect day to be out. We're at Gediminas Tower, like the feature that overhangs the city skyline. If you just like panorama around.
Yeah, man. Like,
so many tourists, right?
We were out there. We did one only once. And like even the park down there, like it's just
local families pushing.
It's so peaceful. But
yeah, so it's not overrun with tourists. It's Charlene.
Yeah, which I was so expected because like people who I tell like I'm going to Europe, they're like, oh, beware, you know, there's too many tourists. You won't be able to get like a photo without a head in it, and like, mate, like
it's beautiful up here. It really is gorgeous. Everything you want. Okay.
Plus more.
But let's see if the snack is everything we want. So,
no, that's not Lithuania. That was my personal snack.
Alright, well, we might do another video on this because this is Latvian, so we'll do the Latvia video.
I just couldn't help myself. It just has a cool title. Anyway.
Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. This is Lithuanian. So, it says Bon Chance. I know it has like a slightly French name, but no, it's definitely Lithuanian. Probably Lithuanian. Mustard and honey. Alright.
I love when things like, it looks like tiny, tiny breadcrumbs.
Yeah, it doesn't look like chips in the normal way. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on here, but it doesn't look like normal paper.
It's like one of those things you can't just have one.
They taste like chips, but they have like a bread style consistency.
There's like a tang to it. What about you? What's like, I guess, surprised you about, you know, maybe not just me, but just wow. Anything else for that for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Baltic peoples, Estonians, Latvians, Lithuanians, they have this reputation for being kind of reserved and stilted and standoffish. And there's a whole lot of like mythos about that. But maybe it was because of the questions we've been asking or the way we've been engaging, but people have opened up to us immediately. And I think it's mostly because we ask serious questions. You know, what is it that you would change about Lithuania, for example? What is it that you want for your children in this country? Those kinds of things where they're deep questions. It's not just, hi, how are you? How's the weather?
Yeah.
And so they're kind of a deep soul, an old soul, I would say, of these people, because they're quite willing to have serious conversations. They just don't like small talk.
Yeah.
And so if you...
What's been like your favorite like response? I won't give them all away, but like, you know, one thing that like stood out to you. So we've been talking to a lot of people, mostly like Bolt drivers. But
yeah, I think we asked someone, Gintaris, who I asked him, what is something that people get wrong about Lithuania? What's something that... And his response was immediate. So in some ways it was how he responded rather than what he actually said. But he responded forcefully. He said, people think we're poor, but we're not. And he answered that when we were surrounded by this absolutely gorgeous set of restaurants, and in the middle was this massive indoor aquarium with like sharks and everything. hyper modern.
Yeah, very much so. And it had a train, come on, and a slide from like the top floor to the bottom floor. For all ages, by the way. I just didn't have the patience to queue up. But yeah, for sure. Like, they're just innovative and yeah.
Yeah, so I think there is a realization that Lithuania, Estonia, I'm sure soon Latvia as well, is like truly Baltic tigers, and that the rest of the world just hasn't caught up with that knowledge.
Is there still like idealism with like Soviet occupation and like threat of invasion and, you know, all that history kind of lingering? Because obviously, you know, it's a generational thing. Like, people still have lived experience. And
well, that was something else that someone said, was that there is a belief among older people that there's an eternal threat perception, that everything that could happen is a threat, has to be interpreted as a threat and therefore resisted. So whether it be COVID vaccination or whatever it happens to be, and some of these things may be serious issues, like I have problems with lockdowns and things, but to instinctively interpret every new thing as like an existential threat to everything and not accepting any change at all is very different to the mentality of the younger people. So that, as Charlene says, there starts to be a generation divide, and between those people that lived through the Soviet occupation, lived through the independence movement and the nascent years of the Lithuanian Republic, to today, where people are born in the post-Cold War era and they're living in an era where the country's been part of NATO and is changing rapidly and part of the EU and the Shenzhen. That is a huge psychological difference. And I think it's also probably a difference when we talk about Lithuania standing up to China, for instance.
Yeah.
Younger people kind of look at it from a post-modern sort of era where China is rising as, you know, big autocratic threat to the world, whereas I think older people still see China as, you know, very, very far away. So, yeah, I can see a significant generational divide among the population. That being said, it would be good to get the views of older people who live through these changes and see what is motivating that feeling of concern, and whether the concern of young people is real. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I like that.
Really good.
I know. I can't not have more. The pack's been gone. You know, we had these other snacks. You know, long chips or whatever. Crispin was so addicted to them. He was like, I need to hide this in the cupboard. Otherwise, you won't get any, Charlene.
That was so good. Really good food. Not stopping eating as we talk. So if you hear a lot of crunching,
Sorry.
soz but not soz. Okay, we should probably move on that, otherwise we'll fall.
Yeah. Should we change positions?
Yeah, we can.
It's also weird. Also, once I discovered this, probably not Lithuanian, but this is really good.
Yeah, where is it?
I don't know, but it's like lemon. It's like lemon water. It's really nice.
Yeah, product of Lithuania, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like it's slightly carbonated water, but not
overwhelming.
Yeah, this isn't just like
the amount of mistakes we've made by just carbonated water.
It's a soft hinge of lemon. That's how you do it.
It's really nice. This stuff is so good. Okay. Well.
All right. So next,
have you got any more?
Oh, a few more, actually.
I love that.
Okay, so this is the one that I'm most suspicious of.
Suspicious? Why?
Suspicious. So, Charlene, how do you feel about spicy food?
Okay, you're right. There's one cultural thing I didn't think was real, right? So, Crispin was like, look, Baltic food, European food is very different to Australian food because, you know, we're near Asia, so we deal with all the spices and that kind of thing. So, you know, it's not plain food, but it's not spicy food. So, where we go to restaurants and there's spice on there, you're like, oh yeah, spice, right? And then we order it, and even the waitress or the waiter is kind of like, oh, be mindful, there's chili in this. I'm like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. Then we get our food, because it's been a while, it's home cooked and beautiful. And then we forget that there's spice in it, and we're like, tomato, yum. Is this a different level?
Yeah, so Baltic, I mean, we love you, and it's a great place. But when you say something is spicy, it's not spicy ever.
No.
By our standards, by Indian standards, Malaysian standards, Australian standards, no, not at all.
Yeah. There was one, which was like a a chili cocktail. What was that?
Yeah, it was a spiced gin.
A spiced gin, and that was somewhat spicy, but not the level of spice where you need like 2 liters of water.
Yeah.
And a milliliter of milk. So it's just an interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that being said, Charlene made a really great observation about how the cuisine in the Baltic, not only is the ingredients really fresh compared to much of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
See, one of the reasons we have so much spice in our part of the world is to cover like the bland flavors. Like you just douse them in turmeric and chili and paprika or whatever else you can find. Whereas here, there's a lot of emphasis on bringing out the natural flavors. We had some spinach.
The spinach was beautiful. Like, and I asked them, "What do you do with the spinach?" And they said, like, cream. Like, that was it. But it was just the most delicious garlic spinach I've ever had in my life.
Yes, there's a lot of emphasis on the natural flavoring here.
Sure.
But one of our viewers said we should get this because it's spicy and it'll make you like. If you want something spicy up here, get this. I think it's green eye. I can't pronounce it properly. I apologize, but we're putting it to the test, okay? I have to say I'm skeptical. I read the ingredients, it's like horseradish and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm sure it's nice, but I'm mentally preparing myself for this to taste like mayonnaise rather than chili. Yeah. Okay. So we got some bread, we'll just dip it in.
Oh yeah, I forgot we bought that. We bought so many snacks, so I forgot.
Okay, see if I can, oh yes, I just undid it perfectly on camera. No, I'm super strong. Alright.
Vegetable. Alright.
Yeah, inflatable ego. Okay.
Okay, really.
Alright, here we go.
I don't know if I put enough. I think I should put more. I should go deep. Yeah.
We actually don't know what you're supposed to have with this, so I don't know if this is too much or too little. I mean, if you had Vegemite in Australia and you did this, it would be a disaster. Alright.
It could be a disaster, but cheers to spice.
Mmm!
Oh my god, it's like wasabi!
That's great! Oh, it's a full-on wasabi.
It's like wasabi.
Mm.
Oh,
jeez. Mm. Okay, guys, this is so good. Hits the sinuses straight away. This is really good because it's springtime and get really bad hay fever, so it's good.
There's your treatment. He's been googling how to go with hay fever here. Because, the flowers have finally gone out. Spring is finally here. End of April, but that's fine.
Oh, this is so good. My eyes are watering. Oh.
Very people like.
Wow, this is actually proper like.
Spice.
So yeah, okay. What would we have this on? Obviously sushi, but.
I don't know. Just like I'll just dip it in veg. To be honest, like cut some vegetables out and eat that. Oh, that's the first time you've coughed. You okay?
Yeah. This is great, but it does make a lunch. Well, hashtag corrected.
It's not mayonnaise.
It's not mayonnaise. This is good. Yeah, it's not like super hot. It does taste much more like wasabi, which like just gets into the side. It's got a real onion horseradish kind of explosion. But it is tangy. It is proper spice. Like.
Yeah, it feels like wasabi. It has the same tang to wasabi. Right. Hit jar. Briefly. This is so good.
Alright, now dip it in
oh my god, now I've got it. Now I've got it.
Go for it. Dip it in proper. Go solid. Go full.
Now it's gone up my
nose. Go hard or go home.
Go hard or go home. Just like,
alright, here we go.
This is crazy.
Right,
people at home are probably like,
go. Oi! Everyone's cheering you now. Oh.
People are like, these people are insane.
Well done, oh. She's handling it better than I am, guys.
You're not the white guy.
I don't know if they allow racism on you. It's true though, if you go to like an Indian restaurant and you order something super spicy, it's really helpful to have someone from Asia or South Asia with you. Yeah. just a point there.
Just in case. Yeah. Well, I have a lot of like British friends and like their spices. I don't know. One of my friends like says like butter chicken is spicy, so and that's like the mild of mild. So yeah, not meant to offend. Okay.
All right. This is great.
I'm just gonna have more. I'm so sorry if we're eating this wrong, but you know.
Yeah. So tell us how you're supposed to have this. What do you have this on? Is it just like on potato, like zeppelinas and stuff, or is it what do you do? Leave that in the comments below because we will. I'll take some of this home.
Yeah, I think we're gonna buy a couple bottles.
Oh, so good. Okay, we have one more thing.
Well, wind's picking up.
Yeah, wind's picking up. That's all right. We'll manage. If people made it this far, they'll endure. So sorry, guys. It's pretty breezy up here. We are, one of the high points of the whole country. Are you okay? Oh no! It's finally hit. Oh
my god. Alright.
She'll say we should cut this, but we won't.
We should cut it. Oh my god. It's just because, like, you have to hold the camera. Alright. Don't drop the camera.
I won't.
It's a bit high.
Yeah, it won't survive. Oh.
I like it because, like, whew, need a drink.
So we are almost, like, at this point of the filming, getting towards the end of our time up here, and I am so glad that Charlene has been able to experience the Baltic.
Yeah.
And she's getting a proper Baltic experience. There it is.
I'm crying about it. It's so beautiful. Obviously. God, it has been such a wild ride, honestly. Whew.
So what was a major misconception you had about Europe before you arrived that was, like, taken... I know there was something about safety.
Oh, safety. Yeah, safety. So, like, my parents were like, are you serious? You're going to go to Europe? You're like, because they went to Europe. Did the typical, like, France, Germany, all that kind of stuff. Vienna. And they're like, you have to be careful. You know, a lot of people go to Europe. It's beautiful, but it's flooded with tourists, and you can get scammed and pickpocketed and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. So, like, I was so worried with Crispin. I was like, Crispin, is Sweden safe? Is Stockholm a safe place? Will I get mugged?
That's where we were landing.
That was our first place, right? So I was like trying to be extra cautious because, like, if I could do the first city, I could do all of them. And that's what it looks to me. It's like, yes, Charlene, Sweden is safe. And then, yeah, as I go in, I'm like, and, you know, traveling around Europe, around the Baltic, and I'm like, wow, I feel safer here than I do at home. Like, it is so open. People are super friendly. Like, obviously, if you go to tourist hotspots, there are more people, but even still, like, you're not, like, pulled in to, like, buy stuff. You know, I was expecting to be scammed at least once, but we've been very, very lucky. But in saying that, it's probably just the culture here, to be honest. Like, people are just genuinely nice people. So, yeah, safety was a huge thing, and I totally recommend for those who haven't travelled to Europe or haven't travelled to the Baltic to do so, because, yeah, you literally get all the nice things about Europe and none of, like, the bad stuff. Like, yeah, so thanks, Mum, for warning me, and quite the contrary.
Yeah, it's been fabulous. And also, one thing that surprised me, well, not surprised me, but astounded me to the degree to which it's happened, is how much the Baltic peoples have got behind Ukraine. And when I say behind Ukraine, I don't just mean supplying them with, like, money and stuff to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Just all the ordinary people, not just the government, but the absolute household people who have brought Ukrainians into their homes, help teach them local languages, work with government, like, bodies, getting them jobs, setting them up. Like, we've met some Ukrainians. We stayed at a hotel that was filled with Ukrainians, all paid for by the government.
Yeah, like 3 months basically set up their life. Like,
yeah, it was great.
It's incredible, you know, and, like, and yes, we see the Ukraine flags everywhere, you know, but it's followed by action. And even just, yeah, talking to people as well of how they help Ukrainians, like, walking past, people like filming with, like, signage and everything. Like, even on the public transport, they're saying, like, we love Ukraine. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's incredible stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it runs much deeper than a hashtag. It's
my goodness, yes, it does.
Like, they really mean it, and they're backing it with everything they have. So countries that are much bigger, have much more resources, are looking pretty small beside these countries here.
For sure.
So that's just great. All right, we have one more thing.
One more. Can we finish? Oh, thank goodness, something's nice.
Nothing nice? You didn't like
the
wasabi?
I'm just a bit sniffy right now, but no, it was lovely.
It was really good. All right, so we got some chocolate. I'll hand you the device back. I got it. Yeah, and people are so nice. Like, we left something really important somewhere, and the lady handed it back to us today. Thank you so much. And she was very friendly about it too.
She was, yeah.
Okay, so.
So we've got, is it pergale milk?
Yeah, milk chocolate. Local Lithuanian chocolate. Not sure where it's made. If you tell us where the factory is, let us know down below. We might go visit the chocolate factory. I like factories.
Are you going to share or not?
Oh, we'll see. There we go.
I've only one-handed here.
Okay.
Cheers to pergale chocolate. Wait.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So this again, I really like this chocolate because it's not overly sugar loaded. Because like Australian chocolate, and yeah, for any reason you just hit sugar. Whereas this like kind of tastes other things.
Yeah, Australian chocolate tastes like macaroons, whereas this is like much more understated.
Yeah, you can actually enjoy it. Oh, it's
Beautiful
success.
Day, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm so happy for blue skies. Finally, we can showcase Lithuania to the world with blue skies. Alright, favorite thing.
Well,
I know what it is.
I have to say the what's it called?
The mayonnaise horseradish. Not mayonnaise.
Yeah, I mean that was delicious and. I mean, also a massive surprise. Like, I was fully expecting it to taste like, I don't know, just a light garlicky thing rather than something genuinely impactful. But it was, so great to see, and I'm looking forward to knowing all the recipes that you use it for. This chocolate's pretty good too.
I think I really like this chocolate, but yeah, I totally agree. No, with Bubble Wolf. The spices. That's like the first spicy thing. I'm so happy we discovered something spicy here. Thank you so much. Made my morning.
Alright, everybody. Well, definitely come try out the Lithuanian snacks. We actually found some Lithuanian products stocked in Australian shelves, shipped all across the world. We'll do another video on that in the future. But for now,
stay safe and
ciao for now.
stop stealing my words.